Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I have been inspired by others like the Thinking Atheist and Telltale and Mr. Atheist and Holy Kool-Aid. Others I found on YouTube and other podcasts that I wanted to try and do something like this, just to talk. I won't be able to do graphics like everyone else because I'm not that good. But I thought I could do something more, just talk, like President Franklin Roosevelt during the Great Depression and World War II with his famous fireside chats, just talking to the country, reassure or just talk. So I figured that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just talk about my atheism and other issues, maybe share stories, of what it's like, for me, or what goes through my head, being the only atheist in my family for a long time, the journey I went on, and what that was like. So, like I said, I thought it'd be something interesting, something to do, I've been isolated for the longest time, haven't been particularly active, or should I say, I define myself more as silent activism, but I'm getting ahead of myself. My name's Matt, I'm a young man, should I say, about to turn 31 this year. And I've been an atheist for about, I think it's been close to 10 years now. No, 8 years. 2012, I think I started to really be on my journey. I was raised in a Christian household, even though my mom and her family was Mormon. She grew up Mormon and was raised Mormon. I was raised just Christian. She kind of got away from that church and with my dad. We married my dad and all that. But my journey started out with when I was 10 years old, kind of 10 years old or whatever, or lower. I started growing up. My mom was probably the most understanding out of it. Before out of my family, direct family before that, when I was old enough, she didn't force me to go to church. If I didn't want to go to church, I didn't have to go to church. It's not something that could be forced on anyone. So I did skip church most of the time, just because as a little kid, what kind of kid wants to spend 2 hours sitting still, dressed up nicely, while everyone else got to play? What kind of kid wanted to waste his time doing that? Well, because my dad, who later on got religious, before my parents got divorced, he worked. He owned a liquor store, so he worked 6 days a week as the owner of the store, and the last thing he wanted to do on Sunday, his one day off, was to go to church. So he didn't go to church. And so I didn't want to go to church. As a little kid, it was just boring and not fun, But when my parents got divorced, Dad got remarried, he was convinced by my stepmom that, because convinced by my stepmom, that he morally, he had to sell his liquor store. It was, not right according to God to own a liquor store, the sin of drinking and all that kind of thing. So he sold it. I didn't understand. I thought he was stupid because that liquor store was good money. When he owned it, it was the best liquor store, best liquor store business in town as far as profits went. After he sold it, the person he sold it to immediately drove the thing straight into bankruptcy. So he was a very smart businessman as far as that was concerned. But when my dad married my stepmom, he got religious like he wasn't before. He decided, and they decided, that church time was family time. Everyone go to church. Aren't we so lucky to spend the time together with God? It's like, oh, goody, goody, goody. So, from the time I was 12 years old to the time I was 17 years old, I had to go to church. I didn't have one option, if and or but about it. And so I hated going to church. I was still confused about what I believed in. I had my doubts. I guess you could call it a non-practicing Christian. I labeled myself a Christian, but I didn't know what to believe in. I wasn't driven beyond a shadow of doubt like others might have been. But I just hated it. I hated going to church. And that was the start of the path, because you can't love and believe in something that you hate. I hated the idea of Christianity. I hated churches as a whole. I hated pastors. I had a real venom towards religion. And that's what started my path. It's a lot easier to start to distance yourself from something you hate. So that was my journey over the course of a few years, from going from a full-blooded, or I believe in Jesus is my savior, and he walked on water, Moses parted the Red Sea, and everyone escaped Egypt to live happily ever after in the Promised Land. Yay! Me, I went from, I believe, just quiet about it, to non-practicing Christian. I'm sorry for my yawning. I went from non-practicing to I don't believe, to, for years, I called myself agnostic. That I will believe that there is something out there that I can't explain, that I don't understand, and that's good enough for me. After all, there's so much in this world that in the universe I don't understand. What assumption, what is wrong with me just to assume? Who am I to just assume I know the right answer? Like any other person who believes in God. Oh, I know the right answer. This is what's going on. I just didn't believe it. I left myself open to doubt, Whether, I figured if I was a good person, I would die and go to heaven, and so I'd do the best job I can, live the best life I could. And that way, my actions would take care of me. And that's what it was for a long time. It wasn't until around 2012 then I started having more and more doubts, more solid doubts. In fact, I believe it was a movie I saw by Mike, I want to say it's Mike Myers, I can't remember, called Religiosity, or Religious, or something like that. I can't think of what it is right now. Where he's an atheist, and the dad is going like, you know what? I think I just might be atheist. you know, that I was only calling myself agnostic as a stepping stone. I'm not a full jumping from Christian to atheist. I'm a slower developer in that sense. I don't make the big jumps. I take one step at a time, climbing up that ladder from the base to the top. And agnostic was just one step I had to take until I finally reached it. But that's when I started to really doubt it, started to really think that I might have been an atheist. And 2012 comes along. It was a documentary, I believe, by that done by Richard Dawkins and Lawrence Krauss, that started on just talking about atheism, atheists, the non-believers. What are you willing to believe? It happened in a documentary in 2013, and when they're traveling the globe, talking about the importance of science and reason in the modern world, and it just fully convinced me that any doubt I had whatsoever at the time, and transferred myself from the agnostic to atheist category, I was fully atheist at this point. I fully call myself an atheist, 100%, just because I don't believe in those mythologies of Jesus walking on water and all that. It's just, I'm logic-minded. I always have been. That's why it was so easy for me to doubt and not to call myself Christian or to be practicing, because it was harder to just believe. So I just decided that I was going to be that. I was that. That's what I called myself. Silently at first. It was just me believing in that. I didn't talk about it at work. I didn't talk about it at home. I was not going to be welcomed in my beliefs. Only problem was, at the time, the next year, I met the love of my life, my future wife. And I was scared. Scared to admit that I was an atheist. Because I cared deeply about her. I couldn't imagine my life without her and her son, my stepson, in it. But I had to be honest. Or I couldn't I couldn't have a future with her. And so one time when I'm over there at her parents' house, this is back until, like I said, 2013, I told, 24 years old, or 24 years old, I was honest. I am an atheist. I don't believe in God. And I was surprised by what happened. My wife, or soon-to-be wife, and my soon-to-be mother-in-law and father-in-law were completely accepting of me. And what I believed in. My wife, it was not religious at all. She believed in a God, but she wasn't religious. My mother-in-law was completely open-minded and accepting, because who I was a good person, and that was good enough for her. No matter what I believed in, as long as I was a good person and I was treated her daughter and her grandson in a good way, I was accepted. And my father-in-law, after 24 or 23 years, I finally got the father figure I wanted. He is so much like the father I could have designed was it. He was completely accepting because he too was an atheist. I never had that before. Someone completely like me, liberal-minded, atheist. I've been the black sheep in the family since since I was 12. And I slowly started changing. You know, the benefit of your parents getting divorced is I found out my parents weren't these perfect beings on pedestals. They were human. You know, it broke my heart to find out that they were human and not perfect. So I had to start thinking for myself. And that was the start of that path. I found out that when I was old enough to to understand politics, I looked up the political parties, looked up their platforms, looked up what each party believed in, and I wasn't Republican like the rest of my family. I was Democratic. I was Democrat. You know? And religion, I just wasn't religious. I wasn't, it started off as not... I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. That I wasn't, religious, and went from agnostic to atheist. So, to finally find a family that accepted me was more meaningful than anything else I could ever think of. You know? Sorry again. Sorry. But it meant so much to me. It meant so much to me to have my family accepting of it. You know? When I get into something, I really get into something, you know? It wasn't long after I got married that I got an atheist logo, with the A and the cosmic atomic circles, one of the many different atheist symbols out there. I got the one, it was tattooed prominently on my lower left arm, so I couldn't hide it. I wanted to loudly portray to the world, this is who I am. This is what I believe. And so, it made it so much easier to do that my family was accepting. Now, my mom, not the traditional, I've heard a couple different stories from, from Seth on the Thinking Atheist podcast, and how, and all that on YouTube, that, my mother was not, and Jesus will save you, Jesus is my parent. I haven't had to block my parents. I've been, thankful for that. I don't have a very good relationship with my dad and stepmom. I rarely talk to them, it seems like, except for occasional texts and visit on a holiday or two. So, so that, in that way, it's almost like it's been a self-blocking by the two of us. I know he loves me and I love him, but the man he is and the man I am, I just don't respect him. I don't respect him. I love him as my dad. I always love him as my dad. But the man he is, what he believes in, and what he's done to me in the name of those beliefs, and how he's acted, I just can't respect him anymore. Forcing me to go to church just because it's what Jesus would want and it's family time. It took a long time, a really long time, for me to drop the venom towards religion, of where I just hated it. You were a Christian, I hated you. I had to heal from that. It took a while. And that anger was a direct result of my dad and stepmom. And so it took a long time for me to forgive them for that. My mom, yes, she wants me to be a Christian. She wants me to believe in God, or Mormon, or Christian. She wants me to believe in God, because my soul, I will never be able to join family in heaven afterwards if I don't believe in God. That I'm going to wind up forever in this purgatory or hell. But she's not going to force it. She never forced me to go to church after a certain age. I was old enough to make my own decisions, and as long as I'm not shoving my religion or my atheism down her throat, down her other kids' throats. You know, she was accepting of me. She loved me for who I was, not for what I believed in. And that's all I could ask for. I love my mom deeply. I respect my mom deeply. The most important people in my life are all women. My stepmom, not my stepmom, my mom, my mother-in-law, and my wife. They are so open and accepting of who I am. They wish I was, some might wish I was more like them. My wife, she doesn't care. She's Wiccan. She believes in the nature, the witchcraft of that, and I'm accepting of her and her belief. If I had to go back and pick any religion afterwards, I would probably be Wiccan like her. I'd believe in nature, because guess what? Unlike God and paradise and Jesus, I can see trees. I can see flowers. I can see the interaction of the world. I can believe in nature. So I can believe in Wiccan or paganism, an old thing like that. But that's my story. My wife loves me, supports me for who I am, supports my atheism, supports my, we talk about religion is bullshit all the time. Talk about the Christians and the beliefs, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, and the fact that only a certain limited number of Jehovah's Witnesses are getting into their heaven. The rest of you, sorry, you're screwed. It's just like, my father-in-law, and just I had to get married to find the family I wanted. To get the family I always wanted, I had to get married. My wife, my in-laws don't follow the in-law jokes, the bad reputation that in-laws get. In some ways, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law are better than my mother and father. I almost wish they could adopt me, because it's the family I always wanted. It's the family I always wanted. Might not be perfect themselves, and at times growing up I might not have liked it, but as an adult, I couldn't imagine any better people. They are so accepting. But that is my story. That is a briefer summary of who I am, my journey from boyhood to manhood, and my trip from being a Christian to atheist. I had to make a few stops of belief and non-practicing to non-believer, as an agnostic, because I figure, hey, if I just wait till I'm on the brink of death and say, I believe in Jesus Christ, and actually mean it, it's kind of like buying car insurance. You buy car insurance, you might not use it, but you have it, so you're to be guaranteed to be protected, right? But you don't have to. It's not a constantly useful thing. So, that's how I treated religion in that regard. So, I can believe in Jesus on my deathbed, and be covered, and I can be a non-believing agnostic the rest of the days, or an atheist. But I didn't, I'm just comforting myself, helping excuse, and it was just keep myself from claiming to be, from admitting to what I really was for years. Because really, this is the only life we're ever gonna get. Make it a good one. Atheists don't have to die to live. We live every single day, because we know that this is a short and precious life, and we're not going to get another one. So, but that's who I am. This channel, I wanted to do, call it the Fireside Atheist. I originally thought maybe I wanted to do it the Fireside Atheist. I want to do like the, what was the term right now? I can't remember what is it. It's a term I first heard, I think, under the Atheist Manifesto by David Silverman. Not Fire Eater. I can't. Wish I could remember it now. Firebrand. There we go. A Firebrand Atheist. With the die-hard, the hardcore. I thought about me naming it the Firebrand Atheist, but because what do I do for this channel? Do I put the venom I have that I still kind of feel now and then towards religion into the channel, or do I do the more positive atheism that other podcasts have had, other groups have had on this channel, like the Telltale or Thinking Atheist, where he might tell the real stories, but it's not negative. And so I thought this branding might be the perfect thing. The Fireside Atheist. I'm just here to talk. I'm just here to talk about what I believe in. And for right now, I'm just going to be faceless. Just because I don't know how to do the videos like other people know how to do. I can make pictures like this show up, and they'll make them look good. But I have no idea how accepted, I'll be as a new channel into the community. I know I'll be accepted by other atheists. I have no doubt about that. But I don't know how well received this channel will be. How popular it'll be. I just want a channel out there that the everyday person could listen to. Not to be convinced of anything, but just to hear someone out there like themselves, who had a path, who had a story, who had just a belief of the opinions, and who's open just to listen to other people. I'm not anything special. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, and I'm not the dumbest. I'm just your average guy talking to you with both positive and negative viewpoints, who's both passionate and angry at religion or against religion. And that's why I thought this is a perfect meaning of my channel, the Fireside. I'm just here to talk. I'm just here to talk about what I believe in and what I don't believe in, and to be an ear for anyone else. So, on their path, on their journey, wherever they are, from doubting Tom to hardcore activist who just wants to take a breather. I'm the Fireside Atheist, and I welcome you to my channel. If you have anything you want to talk about, any issues, any stories you want to share, please leave them in the comments below. And I will be more than happy to read them out loud and to answer any questions. If you have any questions about who I am, feel free to ask. I am here to be open and honest. Open and honest as the fact that there is no God out there. That this is the only life we're going to get. There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is no purgatory. There is only today and earth. And the life we live now. So I hope. Sorry, it's early in the morning. I couldn't sleep. My dog's going to shut up and stop barking. So I've gotten up early. And finally decided to do this channel in this video. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video, or this channel. Hope you've enjoyed both. I'm here just to talk. So, if you have anything you want to talk about, any personal questions you want to ask of me, any subject you want to bring up, like, I don't know, any modern subjects of the day that I can look up, because that's the reason why I'm just like a vlog in a sense, just an opinion kind of a thing. I don't have a lot of time in my full-time 40 hours a week working to be researching so much. So, to make these professional videos that you see other channels have, with pictures that show up and graphics that make me wonder how the hell it happens. So, I'm just here to talk. Whether or not I move to video, whether or not I figure out how to do these graphics, right now I'm here just to talk. So, any questions? You just want to say hi? A subject you want to talk about? I just want to say, I'm here, and I'm here to listen. This is a good place for you. So, thank you for those of you who watched, for those of you who've listened. If you have anything you want to talk about, yeah, please do. And if you subscribe to my channel, because right now I have 0 subscribers. I just started a couple days ago. I was inspired by, the Thinking Atheist, the Telltale, Holy Kool-Aid. I was inspired just to put my own voice out there. So if you log in, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it. I appreciate the support. It means as much to me as my father-in-law, my wife, and my mother-in-law accepting who I am and loving me for who I am and my beliefs, or in lack of beliefs. Thank you so much. Just means so much to have you guys be willing to be a subscriber to my channel. I deeply appreciate it. You guys mean a lot. Those of you who should know, everyone who listens, everyone who signs up, it means a lot to me. Thank you. I'll try to do at least once a week a video discussion or topic. I have no idea how often I'll be able to do it, because I already have another channel about comic books that I like to do. I'm Mr. Comics 89. So in a way, you could see me if you wanted to see what I look like, Mr. Comics 89. So that's who I am. If you wanted to look really badly, because for now I don't want to. For now, I'm faceless just because I don't know how to do. I don't have a backdrop that's cool or anything else. Otherwise, I would have no problem showing my face. I still have a lot to figure out on this channel. What I want it to be, what I want to accomplish. So, what say we discover it together? So hit that subscribe button if you liked my channel or like this video. Hit that like button if you liked this. And I will see you guys next time. Whether it's next week, tomorrow, or in 2 weeks for my next video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for listening. This is the Fireside Atheist signing out. Have a good night, everyone.